If you hear some noise in the background, that's because my husband is mowing the lawn today. Everybody's outside, and so I'm just going to steal this moment to do this video really quick. Hopefully the lawnmower doesn't get too distracting. Hello everybody, and welcome to Lindsay's Little Library. I am here today to bring to you the Finally Fall book tag. I've watched a few different channels do this take video in the last week or so, kind of pretty much since fall started, and the more I watch it, the more I love it, so I figured I might as well just go ahead and do it. The original tag is by Tall Tales, and I will leave a link to their channel below, so shout out to them. Thank you very much for creating this tag. Let's get started. I think there's 10 questions. We'll go through them, and I've got quite the pile to show you with what I came up with. Question number 1. In fall, the air is crisp and clear. Name a book with a vivid setting. This is pretty easy for me to pick out. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Awesome World. I pretty much knew I'd pick a fantasy book for this question no matter what, because they're just so great at building the worlds and building the setting and building the experience, and no one does it better than Sarah J. Maas. Honestly, any of her books I could have picked for this, but I went with the one that really made me fall in love with her, which is A Court of Thorns and Roses. A fantastic book. It is a kind of retelling of Beauty and the Beast, so if you're into retellings, if you're into fantasy, any of those, pick this up. It's fantastic. Question number 2. Nature is beautiful but also dying. Name a book that is beautifully written but also deals with a heavy topic such as loss or grief. I picked Still Alice by Lisa Genova for this one, and this is about a woman named Alice, and she is 50. She is a professor, I believe. Yes, a psychology professor at Harvard, and she is diagnosed with early on-stage Alzheimer's. And because you are going through this book from Alice's perspective, you really get to feel that loss of her memory and her thoughts and the thought process she goes through when she's having a hard time remembering. I think there's one about her keys, and then there's another part where she gets lost on campus. Like, this is a campus she's worked on for years, and she totally is lost. So it's a really, really great story about Alzheimer's set from the perspective of the person going through it. Pick this up. It's great. Question number 3. Fall is back to school season. Share a nonfiction book that taught you something new. I don't read a lot of nonfictions, and I am working on that because I've been introduced to a few that have been very good lately, and I'm kind of realizing that I'm missing a whole entire mound of books that are fabulous, and I truly love to collect information to learn about different things, and so I need to just find some more nonfictions. But one of them that really has stuck with me since I read it last year is Hillbilly Elegy by J.D. Vance. This is a memoir of a family and culture in crisis, and it really talks about the poor white American hillbilly and how he was raised in that type of a culture, how it's kind of dying out, what are the consequences of it dying out, what's happening, where are they going. It really starts, it goes through what his grandparents experienced, his parents, and then what he experienced, and kind of how he bettered himself, and why there's a group of people who are kind of stuck in this, I shouldn't say stuck, who are in this culture, and there's not always a great way to get out of it. So, great book, pick it up. It's fairly short, but really great. Really great book. We liked it. The whole book club actually liked it. It was really good. Question number 4. In order to keep warm, it's good to spend some time with the people we love. Name a fictional family or household or friend group that you would like to be a part of. So aside from the one that everybody's going to answer with, which is, I think, Harry Potter, because hello, magical world, Hogwarts, it'd be fabulous to live here. I feel like that's too much of a gimme, so I'm going to go with my next choice, which, you might be surprised, is Little House on the Prairie. I grew up reading these books. I grew up watching the show. I totally fell in love with them. I would love to go and live with them and experience that part. Like, look at how well loved this book is. So great. So definitely Little House on the Prairie. I would totally get along with Laura and Mary and everybody. And then I was at Barnes & Noble not that long ago, and I ran into this book, Caroline. It's by Sarah Miller. It is Little House Revisited. It goes through Caroline, which is the mom's story. Hello? How did I not know about this book? I randomly came across it. It was, wow. I cannot wait to read this book and get back into that world and back with that family. So would totally do that. Number 5, the colorful leaves are piling up on the ground. Show us a pile of fall colored spines. Now I actually let my kids do this question for me. My kids and a couple of their cousins were over for the weekend and basically pointed them my TBR shelf and said, go find me all books that look like a pile of leaves. I had to add a little bit of yellow, so small intervention there for my part, but otherwise they totally picked this entire stack of books, which is huge. So here it is, my pile of leaves. I will go through them quickly and show you which ones they picked up. And again, this is all off of my TBR shelf, all books that I'm excited about, but I may not know the premise of all of them, so I'm not going to go through that all. That would make this video forever. So first one up is Because You're Mine by Colleen Cobble. Next one is Did You Ever Have a Family by Bill Clegg. Next one, because yellow spine, is Major Pettigrew's Last Stand by Helen Simonson. Next one is Hum If You Don't Know the Words by Bianca Morris. Again, yellow spine, but I've heard this is awesome and I really, really, really want to read that. Next we've got World War Z by Max Brooks. What Alice Forgot by Leanne Moriarty, another one I really want to read. Queen of the Tierling by Erica Johansson. Where They Found Her by Kimberly McCree. And they were so excited to see this one because they're like, Mom, we found one with an actual leaf on it in a pile of leaves. It was great. It's super cute. Next we have The Painted Bridge by Wendy Wallace. The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee, oh, I've heard this so many times, Adier. Another one that I've heard fantastic things about. We've got Pretending to Dance by Diane Chamberlain. Obviously got this from Book Outlet. On their, they have a kind of scratch and dent section, and so they come where there might be some cover damage or missing dust jackets, but you get it for cheaper, so I don't care. I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh, and Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. So that's my pile of leaves. They did a good job. Pretty proud of them. All right, number 6 I think we're on. Fall is the perfect time for some storytelling by the fireside. Share a book where somebody is telling a story. This was really hard for me. I couldn't think of one that really kind of fit this, so I think this is the best I came up with. It is The Diary of Maddie Spencer by Sandra Dallas, and this is literally written as diary entries. So I feel like that's kind of telling a story. Close enough. We're gonna go to it, but really good book. Really, really good book. Next up is number 7, The Nights Are Getting Darker and Spookier. Share a dark and creepy read, and this one I had a hard time with too because I have a lot of dark and creepy reads. Or maybe not dark and creepy, I have a lot of psychological thrillers, and so I'm like, no, I gotta be dark and creepy about it. So what books creeped me out? And of course the ones that I'm thinking of I don't actually have with me, and I just would really like to show you a book. So I came up with this one. Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. Creepy. So creepy. And I can't tell you why, but creepy. Number 8, The Days Are Getting Colder. Name a short, heartwarming read that can warm up somebody's cold and rainy day. Another one I had a little bit of a hard time with because the book I picked isn't necessarily short, but it is YA, so it does go pretty quickly, and it's totally such a heartwarming story. So I went with Wonder by R.J. Palacio. Again, not super short, but I mean, it's really not bad because they're broken up. The chapters are pretty short. And then you have some pages that have these just quotes on them. And so it goes pretty fast, but totally heartwarming story about a little boy who is disfigured. His face is very disfigured. It actually says on the back, I won't describe what I look like. Whatever you're thinking, it's probably worse. And he decides that he wants to go to public school. And he does. And just imagine what happens in public school. And I think it's even middle school. So, nope, 5th grade he enters. And it's a really, really great story. It's coming out as a movie. Either it did already, I think, with, who's in it? Julia Roberts is in it. but really great book, and my children will be reading this book for sure. All right, number 9. Fall returns every year. Name an old favorite that you'd like to return to soon. I had a couple of these. Number 1 is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I've been wanting to reread this book for a long time, and I don't know why I haven't. Actually, I think I do know. I read this. This was probably one of the earliest books in high school that like really made me think. Up until that point, I had read R.L. Stine and Goosebumps and just nothing really with a really strong message that left me really thinking about things, and this is probably one of the first books that did that for me. So I don't want my view of it to change in any way. I don't think it will, but I do get nervous that I might lose something by reading it again. And the second book that I really want to reread for totally different reasons is Leaving Time by Jodi Picoult. And I don't know if, let me know below if you have read Leaving Time and if you saw the twist coming that is in this book. Because I didn't see it and I want to reread it with that knowledge now. I just need to, because I feel like there were clues in there that I totally missed. But let me know, because then this is a fantastic book if you're looking for a good twist. Awesome book. Question number 10. Fall is the perfect time for cozy reading nights. Share your favorite cozy reading accessories. Fall in general is just a fantastic time. I am so lucky to live in a state that has 4 true seasons and true differences between seasons, and sometimes we even have all 4 seasons in one week. Not joking at all. It hasn't been all that cold. Actually, it's like high 70s and sunny and really gorgeous today. So I haven't really had that opportunity to sit and cozy up and read. With fall though comes a lot of football. Go Packers, I'll just throw that out there today. And so I honestly will read so much while we're just sitting and watching football. I can't read in silence, so I need some sort of background noise, and so that's really good for it. I need some sort of blanket. I need my feet up. Snacks are good, but not needed. I just need a good book. And when push comes to shove, really, I can read just about anywhere. So, but I do best. Feet up, blanket on, and a little bit of background noise is what helps me get through a lot of books. So that's all I had today for the Finally Fall book tag. It's a super fun book tag to do, so if you haven't done it already, please go and do it. Leave a link below and I'd love to check it out. And that's about all I have for today. So let me know if you've read any of these books, what you thought of them, and like, comment, subscribe below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!